here to help aid you in getting to that state. So this is a regular session takes anywhere from 11 minutes to an hour. And so this is really just most people that it's going to affect. We've seen it begins at 2 minutes. So that's why we go 5 minutes, 5 to 6 minutes.
What about the final design?
Say again?
The final design.
Oh, well, here's one. This is a tabletop version, right? That will actually have an EEG interface. So you'll be able to have a headset that individually you will be able to, when you enter into that flow state, measure it and be able to detect that and levitate and spin and change colors. You'll be able to effectively condition yourself to be able to consciously change the color. You know, like I want my room to be blue, you'll be able to change that. Just imagine you lived in a world where you control your mind instead of your mind control. You can have that kind of control. You can.
But it's not like once you're in space. It's a tabletop.
Right. We are talking about building a large one of these. We are going to build a large one for public spaces that will also levitate and spin. Those are going to come to around $100,000. So we're a little ways off from that. The levitation part's pretty hard when you get up to that scale. That much weight. But this is also.
Doing levitation now, how does it work? This one, you're like, that's going to be really hard. I'm like, yeah. Well, that's it, like, no.
This is another design I've been working on. It's called the Hypercube, where I was talking to you about this earlier. So we'll be developing computers that are shaped like this. So one thing about quantum computing is you can't approach quantum computing with any expectation that it does what your idea of computing does. Computers simply compute. Anything that computes is a computer. You know, if it's got an input, electricity, some computers don't even have electricity. Yeah, that's a computer. So this, that right there, the circular lights, that's a quantum computer. There's 11 quantum computers working together, although they're not actually connected. They're all working together. You can see waves sort of hit them. This will have a similar thing.
So what does it have that functioning world?
This would sit on a desktop somewhere, and it would some of the more advanced versions will definitely do some very different things, but the basic functionality is very similar to that. It's hypnotic to stare at. Yeah, but you could literally affect the color at will.
If you're hooked up with the thing on your head.
It'll have both. But the objective is to, again, use the EEG set as a tool, but we're going to engineer it to the point where it will be possible to levitate it without the EEG set. That's
still happening.
No, I mean that's definitely. I mean it's with that technology that's actually under the chair.
So, but what am I seeing under the chair right now?
You're experiencing a level of reality that your consciousness has never seen before. You've never experienced it.
Can you tell me what the chair looks like?
Yep.
What is that?
So that's what it is actually. Except it's mylar instead of tinfoil. But underneath each of those cups, this is just it's not a final product. You know, this is a proof of concept prototype.
Right.
So that's just a coffee table. They're literally just glued to a coffee table.
Cool.
But underneath them, there's something very profound going on. Because if you look at them long enough, you'll be like, okay, there's some kind of sequence, these are working together. But they're not. They're all independent. Each one of those is a small quantum computer. It's a computing device that incorporates an electron tunneling that's been shown to be effective by human consciousness. So everybody's consciousness here is actually having an effect on it. But by looking at it, you're establishing a direct link. And so although the colors look solid, they're actually changing 200 times per second.
So for having the one on your desk levitate, change color, just train your mind with the set that you're building on the tabletop just to actually like practice establishing that connection before you can just
that's the only way to do it. Matter of fact, most people I'm gonna have a test mode, right? where you can run it through to make sure it's levitating and working. Because most people who try to, for example, most people who try to diet don't. Most people who try to meditate don't. They end up not doing it. So if we release this without some kind of proof that it levitated, it's never going to get there. I'm not going to get it. With the EEG set as well. So imagine you got the EEG set, but you also have this. You also have something really forcing you, inducing the meditative state. It's going to happen more easy. So when you get sort of used to that, it's just like muscle memory. You're going to start remembering. It's going to get built into you through epigenetics. You know what epigenetics is? It's our cellular, our cells, and our DNA's ability to adapt to our environment. External factors affecting our DNA. So you can take this and incorporate this into a daily practice or regular practice, and you're going to affect your DNA. You're going to change your consciousness in a measurable way to where you'll be able to take this data. I do believe this isn't a medical device, it's not a medical device, but I do believe with regular use, it will delay the onset of Alzheimer's or other neurodegenerative diseases.
Yes, I am.
Because it's continuously exercising your consciousness, accessing new parts of the brain. So what happens if you could access all those parts of the brain that haven't been accessed before? You can open up levels of intelligence. Where do ideas come from? Nobody knows. You know, but there's a lot of proof that ideas are not unique. They're collective in nature. The Rubik's Cube. Rubik's Cube came out. There was a guy in Japan working on the exact same thing. Didn't know each other. That concept about an idea at time is gone, that's a collective consciousness at work. You know, a great book called Art and Physics by Leonard Shlain examines the history of art and science and draws parallels between rapid shifts forward in art and science that are similar in theme but unaware of each other. For example, the Surrealists. They were, like Dali, melting watches, exploring time, the different dimensions of time, shadow, how a lot of things about reality, altered states of consciousness. The Surrealists were doing that. Meanwhile, Einstein and a whole bunch of other brainiacs were figuring out what relativity is. And quantum theory was emerging at the same time. And so art and science are linked. If you talk to any scientist who's reached at a very high level, they will tell you, a doctor, for example, they'll hear this over and over again. Oh, it's really more than art. And if you look at what real artists are doing, it's an alchemical process. It's a science.
Not on the sound form, but on the light form. That's interpreted through years.
Yeah, so there will be a large version. Hopefully we'll be able to put it in public spaces, various things, and then where this is my vision, which I don't know if I'll ever live to see it, but I definitely know it's going to happen, whether I'm involved in it or not, because I think it's an idea as time has come. These types of technologies will be integrated into people's homes, just as regular and places of business, where unfortunately I'm sure it's going to be mostly the people who can afford it, the early adopters, you know, but eventually to the public places as well, where expanding consciousness just becomes a part of your everyday regular routine. And when you're ready to go to bed at night, you just push a button on your app or something, your whole house goes in Delta mode. You just slowly, just like lulls you to sleep. You wake up in the morning, do a quick meditation with an alpha. You're doing your morning meditation at your house. It's literally augmenting itself. And respond. Your house becomes a feedback loop. You respond. So you have like those lights everywhere. In a house, you have ambient light and reflection light. You'll be able to see literally the house of your life. So on a larger, more integrated scale, this is a form of artificial intelligence. It's not the type of artificial intelligence that mimics human behavior. It's one that extends it. It's your ability to extend your mind. And literally, if you have a family working together with collective consciousness, tools to help strengthen that. I'll tell you something. One of the reasons, I do have quite a bit of experience in education and physics, various forms of engineering, but that's not what gave me the faith and the understanding that this is real and it works. what happened, it was a personal experience. When I was a kid, about 6, 7 years old, my brother and I played hide and seek in our neighborhood, and we hid in a refrigerator. And one of the kids we were playing with came by and closed the refrigerator, didn't realize they locked us in and left. Right? And so my brother and I are sitting in there, running out of there, kicking and screaming, and no way to get out. And we were in this abandoned house down the street from our home. And my mother had a panic attack. She was doing dishes within the house, and then she had a complete panic attack. She knew there was something wrong with the babies. That's what she said. There was something wrong. She runs out of our house in complete panic. Does a beeline right from this house, went straight there. Had no kids told her where to go or anything. Goes and opens the door. Her lifeless bodies fall out. She thinks we're dead. She calls 911. They come over. They revived us. We're off. Obviously, my brother was fine. But when you're 6 years old, you don't have any predispositional bias or institutional dogma to hold you back on your perspective of the world. So I grew up thinking, hey, I better be careful because my mom's gonna know what I'm doing no matter what. You know, you know, it's like that's real, and so I grew up with that idea that we're all connected in some way. That just seems like an inherent nature of reality. And there's somebody else named Hans Berger who had a similar experience. Anybody know who he is? He was the inventor of EEG. Died in obscurity, committed suicide. And it was because he attempted to do what we're all attempting to do, and that is shift the paradigm to scientific community. What's really possible. When he had a similar, he had a near-death experience, and it was his sister who was in a different country at the time. He got thrown in front of an oncoming carriage. This is early 20th century, and he gets a frantic telegram from his sister. Please, proof of life. Please respond to this immediately. I had this horrible feeling something was wrong with me. And his sister wasn't like this, totally out of character. So he knew there was this connection. You know, he almost died, and she knew. And so he went on this. The first EEGs were actually imprinted or installed below the skin. So he was like, he knew there was something there, and he was a medical doctor. He was a general practitioner. Got the reputation of a mad scientist because he was like probing into people's minds and stuff like that. And he discovered, there's a signal there. We can prove it. Here's definitive proof. He was an engineer, and he thought he had just made one of the biggest scientific discoveries ever. Because if what he was saying was true, it would be a breakthrough. He knew it. Everybody around him knew. But when he took this to the public, it was complete denial. They rejected him. He ended up losing his practice. Nobody would come see the quack anymore because he was rejected by his community first, then everybody else. Family left him, couldn't earn a living, became ill, killed himself. Within 2 generations, his research was in every hospital. It was accepted as paradigm. And so we're kind of in that zone right now. People don't think you can extend. The mind isn't as powerful as some things lead us to indicate that it is. So we're in that paradox where if I was to tell most people, oh, that's a quantum computer that is affected in a subtle manner by your consciousness, they wouldn't believe it. And what I've learned in the science world that exists today is facts and data don't matter to scientists. They really don't, because they're going to believe whatever they want to believe, regardless of any data that's presented to them. Because you can argue with anything. It's supposed to be the opposite.
Opposite of what people are worried about our social and political realm, and they're saying at least there's science, but then you're saying maybe the scientific community doesn't understand.
Right. Absolutely. Because I wouldn't even say the science of today. You can even go back to history. Same thing.
Just because they're afraid of this.
Yeah. Ego. Particularly the male ego. Everybody wants to be first. When you approach somebody, it's not really this mutual, heuristic exploration of what's possible. We live in a capitalist society, and everybody's on the make of some sort. You know, we gotta make a living, gotta make deals, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. That hasn't changed for hundreds of years. You know, take Galileo. You know, he had a scientific instrument that indicated that the Earth was not the center of the universe. We did indeed circle the sun.